always looking outside of myself for something to soothe me. You are a powerful being. You are a powerful being. You have the power to integrate your anxiety. Hello, 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 hello. Welcome. I don't believe in time and space in the traditional sense, so I feel like whenever you're here with me, you're really here with me, and I appreciate that. You could be anywhere, but you're right here, and that's cool. What inspired today? I've been having terrible bouts of anxiety. Terrible. This is not something new. I've suffered with it through my whole life, and I hate that term, suffered with it. I have mixed feelings about it, but we're just gonna go with it for today because I have yet to come up with a different term for it. So I've suffered with anxiety for what feels like my whole life. After like really examining and diving deep into what are the causes of those anxieties, I mean, that cause isn't important actually. We'll be here all day if we go into the cause of the anxiety. Something that I noticed was that I was always looking outside of myself for something to soothe me. That could be anything. It could be alcohol, it could be cannabis, it could be food, it could be social distractions, it could be spending money. I mean, it's been a million different things. One of the most extreme things that it's been is I always have anxiety peak up a little bit around the nighttime. I think that's because, you know, things get really quiet and it's like all of a sudden all the distractions of the daytime and all the things that you're doing in the day silence themselves, and then it's just you in the night. At 15 years old, I started taking sleeping pills and I became completely reliant on them. I could not fall asleep without them, or else my mind would just keep me up, keep me awake. The anxiety, the heart racing. Being able to get over not using those pills, it took me 15 years to do. I tried so many times. Like, believe me, there was many attempts to quit, and when I finally did it, I was so proud of myself. But what I saw is that I did replace it with other things. I was still looking outside of me for something to help me with that. Where I'm at right now, that anxiety, I don't want to say it might not be going anywhere, but probably not. I don't want to like overstep myself. Actually, I do. I'm gonna overstep. And I'm just gonna say, I think it's something that's symptomatic of being alive today. We're not gonna get all into that. We're not gonna get into my theories. I have a lot of theories about it. I just feel that it's something very common, and I don't think it's something that will necessarily go away in my life. Like, I'll just never experience that anxiety. I think for the type of person I am, I can work on integrating it and calming it down within myself, but I don't think that it's just I'm gonna hit a time and my anxiety just goes away. So now where I'm focused is I just want to find little ways that I can deal with it in-house, that I don't have to look outside of me, that I don't have to seek something else and grab onto something else to calm me down, to numb me, to soothe me. And I was really inspired to do this video today because last night was like the first time in a very long time that I really did. I was having such intense anxiety that I wanted something. Like, I wanted a glass of wine, a bottle. I wanted, to smoke a joint. I was like looking outside of me. Not that those things are bad. Like, I don't want to demonize and say those things are negative. I'm going to have wine in my life. I'm gonna have cannabis in my life, but I just don't ever want it to be something that I'm doing just because I can't handle the feelings that are going on within me, if that makes sense. So this is something that I take very seriously. Like, I'm not just casually being like, here's some things that help me with anxiety and like, ha 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 ha. I take it seriously. And so I just wanted to pass on some things that I've been using that have been enhancing my ability to mitigate my anxiety, basically. And they're pretty simple. Like, when I'm looking at them, I'm like, ooh, this is not anything too exciting, as things go. But these have really been helping me. These have been really, really good tools. So if you're somebody who sees some similarities, the anxiety journey, the anxiety journey. I mentioned nighttime is a problematic time for me. Nighttime's problematic. So I do have my nighttime routine, to be honest with you, is way more important and valuable to me than my morning routine. My morning routine, for example, this, you didn't ask, but I'm telling you. This morning I woke up at like 5, I took my dogs for a walk and then I come back, I watched Real Housewives of Atlanta, and I fell back asleep until 10. That's my morning routine. Like, it's always different. I've really tried over the years to have like a set in stone morning routine. Sometimes I do things that are productive, sometimes I just lay in bed. It's all over the place. So my morning routine, not that I've given up on it being more steady, but my nighttime routine is really where it's at because that's what really helps my mental health. It's important to me. So part of that is I try to only have natural light ever if I can help it, just to help my circadian rhythm always be in tune. And so when the sun sets, I try just candlelight. Like, ideally I keep it candlelight only. And then when it's actually time to go up to my bed, you know, I play either some really soft music or I play a podcast, something like just relaxing. I try not to look at screens, like if I can help it, but God knows, like, we're all addicted to screens in some way or form or shape. This has really helped me, and it's just a tea. I like this brand, it's cute, it's fine. It has cute little sayings on the tag. It's a sweet little brand, but it's mostly for this ingredient here, Kava. That's the active ingredient. So if you want to just look for Kava on its own or a tea, I'm sure, like, you know, most of your outlets, I don't want to say Amazon because honestly, Jeff Bezos, I'm coming for you and I want to make that really known and secure. Amazon is problematic. Do I use it? Yes, but it's problematic. So I don't like to ever be like, get it on Amazon, but I guess you could get it on Amazon. I love this tea. I am not somebody who's sensitive to medications. Like, as I just mentioned, I have a past of abusing substances. So usually it takes a lot for me to feel anything, quote unquote. But I've started drinking this around bedtime like 4 months ago, and I am just amazed at the way it does just calm me down. Just relaxes my system. Now when I have it, it's just like it's part of like my ritual. So it's like the ritual itself is relaxing, and this ingredient Kava, like, it just really calms and relaxes me. And so I love not only having that routine every night, and there's nights that I don't have it, like it's not something that I must have, which I also think is important for the pattern I'm trying to create of not making anything like set in stone that I need it. Yeah, nighttime ritual, get into it. This is like nothing, it's nothing that exciting, but I have just found that a lot of times when I'm having anxiety and my thoughts are racing and bouncing all over the place, it helps me to get those thoughts out in some way. And sometimes, of course, like I put it, oh, it's 2:44. Oh my God, and then it's 9:44 on the camera. Oh my God, 44. 44 has been like a very important angel number that's been appearing for me. And so, that was cool. Okay, anyways. So sometimes, like, of course, I'll put it in my notes app of my phone. I have a journal. I have a kind of like, I guess, planner, bullet journal type thing. So I have a lot of places where I write things down, but sometimes that's like a little formal, if that makes sense. This little book I've just been carrying around, and I just write random, whatever thoughts that it's just like, if I notice myself doing something else and I'm thinking about other things, I just immediately write it down in here. It's therapeutic, I feel like, especially to write it. Like I said, I do love my notes app, but sometimes there's just something about like typing it out. It's not the same as like writing it, because it's like once I write it, it's gone. Like it can be out of my head. It's on paper. Like, I'm looking back at some of the things that I've written. It's nothing that makes sense. It's nothing that's normal. It's nothing that even, you know, is useful, to be honest with you. But they're just thoughts. They're random thoughts. They're random things that I couldn't get out of my head, that I was trying to think about, that I was trying to plan about, that weren't being useful. Like, it was distracting me from my life. It was distracting me from being in the present and being in the moment. And like, that's just never it. That's when like my thoughts that's when my thoughts just run away with themselves, and I'm not about that life anymore. So it's just really helped to have like a very informal, just little book, not a journal, not your notes app, not a planner. It's helped me. I am a high-key cannabis advocate. I think cannabis is a magical, mystical plant. I think it has so many purposes, it could do so much. That being said, I can abuse it. I can abuse anything. I mentioned food was another thing. Doesn't mean food is bad. You need it to survive. But if you abuse it, then what is it doing for you? Me cutting down on my cannabis use, specifically like smoking and edibles. It's more of just, like I said, I'm trying not to look outside of myself for those things. Past few years, 4 years, I had been suffering with a chronic illness because I had used cannabis before then, like more in like a party, casual, that social type setting. But when I got this chronic illness, the only thing that helped me was cannabis. And I was living in Southern California at the time. I love Southern California. That is my place. That is my spot. And of course, it was legal. It was legal over there. You could just walk in and buy it. You can get it delivered to your home. So I had such easy access, and I really became reliant on it to deal and to cope with the symptoms of my illness. And that just led to me being way too dependent on it in general. And over the past year, I've, thank God, been able to heal myself and not experience those symptoms. And so then it was like the process of walking back that reliance on my thoughts are coming out fast. And so yeah, so I try not to smoke as much. However, CBD, because it doesn't have the same type of effect, it doesn't have the same type of properties, this has just really helped me. I have a, do you call it a serum? The one that's in just like the droppers that you put under your tongue or you can mix into a drink. I have that as well, different forms of that. This has just really been like such a little treasure to find. You can see I only have 2 left of these little gumdrops. They're little gumdrops. This is the brand Lord & Jones. Lord & Jones. I just love their branding. Like, God, I'm such a sucker. I'm a sucker for things like this, but it's beyond that. The taste is so good. It tastes like fresh fruit. Like, I hate gumdrops like in real life, like ones that aren't medicated. These taste better than any gumdrop I've ever had. I've had this since the beginning of January. So I've only had, I can't really count, 3, 6, 9, minus 2, 7. I've had 7 over the course of that time because, like I said, I don't want it to just be like, you know, sometimes I wake up in the morning, I have anxiety. I don't want to just be like, oh, like, let me grab this, let me grab a gumdrop because I need it. But it's just something that when it kind of kicks up and I want to use it in tandem with other things like meditating, with other things like breathing exercises, CBD is just something that I've really grown to love. When it first came out, I felt, well, not when it first came out, I feel like now it's kind of one of those things that it's just completely getting appropriated by corporate America. And they're like, yeah, let's put CBD in everything. And I do hate that, and I'm wary of that. And so I don't want to be just like one of those people who's like, yeah, like CBD is the answer to everything. Like I said, I'm careful how I use it, not because I think that it's like a dangerous substance or that I could get addicted to it, but it's more just like using it to enhance what I'm already doing. Like I had one last night because I said I had really horrible anxiety, but I also did breathing exercises. I also meditated. I listened to a guided meditation. Like, I don't just rely on only this to help me, but yeah, CBD in all forms. Particular reason that I kind of wanted to show this particular brand is because I was seeing this around a lot and I really thought it was just hype, and that's why I got it, because I wanted to disprove it. Yeah, I just wanted to disprove them. But hey, the hype was real. The hype was real. This is actually a really, really good product. I feel like I'll order from them again and again. So yeah. All right, now let's get into some real rose quartz. Even this is my favorite piece. I actually made it. It's a rose quartz necklace, and then this is a little crystal quartz at the end. Okay, so crystals. Are you skeptical? Have you already clicked off the video? Probably, maybe. Crystals, I mean, I'll let you go ahead and I can't be on here talking about the healing power of crystals. There are people way more educated than me who could pass on that knowledge to you. But this is another thing that's kind of been taken and appropriated by everything. It's like very like an Urban Outfitters, hey, get your rose quartz, that kind of thing. However, I think it's important to note this is a tradition, a ritual, a tool that's been used for literally thousands of years. It all boils down to energy. I like to shoot things really practical because I know it can all sound very like woo-woo, like the stones have power. People really discount it, but it's all about energy. It's energetic. And the thing that I really want to point out about this rose quartz is that this is nothing, like the energy of this is nothing that I don't have. It mimics the energy that I already have, and it brings it out to the forefront. You see, I placed it on my heart. This is where I usually place my rose quartz. A lot of times anxiety can really be felt here, like in this space, in this chakra space. And so I like to lay, especially like I fall asleep a lot with this over my chest or under my pillow. And what this is doing is rose quartz mimics the energy of the heart. And so it aids in kind of the unblocking, like that feeling of crackliness, if you know what I'm talking about. When you're experiencing anxiety, the rapid heartbeat, the crackly feeling, the worriedness of the heart. And to me, this just, when I lay it over my physical body, or even just having it in my hands, like this little guy I travel with, and when I say travel, I mean like leave the house. Like anytime I leave the house, I try to take a gem with me just to kind of reinforce that feeling of positivity. This has just helped me so much. Like it would be a lie if I came on here and like try to act like this wasn't something that I turned to. This helps me. Even like I can notice the difference. Like when I'm talking to you and it's laid right here, I feel so much more balanced. I feel so much more at peace. When I take it away, it is just like a different feeling. And again, it's not because this has a power that I don't have, or that this has an energy that I don't have. It's just like this is bringing out like my heart energy to the forefront. So I love rose quartz. I know it's kind of seems like, I don't care how it seems. I'm just gonna go into how, because I think people really discount it. Like, how could this do anything? When you're tuned into energy, you feel it. So if you're somebody who's sensitive to energy, get into it, honey. I don't know what else to tell you. Okay, warning, I'm doing this. Okay, so this is a sound bowl. I have 2 sound bowls, but I realize that this isn't something that everybody wants to invest in. I've had mine for a while now. My sister is the one who really got me into it. Sorry, there's something weird in here. When she did it, I just noticed it was like a cleansing of my mind. It was like a complete clearing of my mind. Something about it really resonates just with my soul. Like it just aligns me. And I'm not the only person who has said this. Like, sound bowls are a thing because people feel it. You know, I've been to different yoga classes and they do this. I love sound bowls. But like I said, you don't need to invest in an actual bowl. I'll link below my favorite channel for this, but sound baths. There's sound baths on YouTube. And when I mentioned that I wake up sometimes in the middle of the night, I wake up early and I don't want to necessarily get out of bed. I don't want to necessarily like get my day started at 3 a.m. And so what I do is I put on a sound bath, and it's like it puts me into this meditative mode. It completely puts me at ease. I do my breathing exercises as well, just in tandem, and it works so beautifully. I don't know what it's called right now. Like I said, I just have to link it down below. But this channel I have gone to for months. There's such an amazing channel. There's so many different ones on there. They have ones that are so long, like 4 hours. They have ones that are an hour, but I just put it on and I play it, and it puts me in such a peaceful Zen-like place. It's so beautiful. It's so calming and so relaxing. And especially if you're somebody who's like sensitive, like I said, uber sensitive. I'm super sensitive to hearing. I'm clairaudient. It really helps me. Like, I hate that feeling of, a lot of times when I am woken up at like 3 a.m., I immediately have a feeling of anxiety. What did I used to do? God knows. I mean, sometimes I'd smoke, to be honest with you. It was a bad habit, but this has a way of like either putting me back to sleep, or it is almost like a meditation. I love playing it while I meditate. I mean, that's it. Those are the things that have just really been helping me and assisting me with my anxiety, because like I said, it doesn't seem to be going anywhere. The beginning of the year has definitely been a hell of a trip. It really has. And I know I'm not the only one. So I hope that these were helpful. I hope that even if just like one thing kind of looked like you might be interested, because trust me, like I said, I am very familiar with looking for things outside of me, feeling really powerless against my anxiety, feeling like it runs me and I don't have any control. These are things that are assisting me in just sort of tempering that and not giving it that power. I said, when I wake up in the morning and have those incredibly strong feelings of anxiety, or when it's nighttime and I want to fall asleep but I can't because of anxiety, these are the things that are helping me bring myself back down. I don't want to say that they're not that big of a deal, but it's nothing like crazy extravagant that you need. It makes me feel like I have my power back with it. Yeah, it just makes me feel empowered. Empowerment, self-love, continue to check in with yourself, continue to breathe. That's something that sounds so trivial. There's a bonus one, breathing. I've noticed that sometimes I do this thing where I just like hold my breath for no reason. Like if I'm anxious or if I'm worried about something, I'm just like holding my breath, and then I come out of it and I'm like, hello, breathe. And just taking like a huge breath, reminding myself that I'm here, that everything is okay, that no matter what, I can handle anything, that I'm here and all is well. So I hope that this stuff helped you. I'm sending you mad love. I'm sending you mad light. Yeah, sending you off with power. You are a powerful being. You are a powerful being. You have the power to integrate your anxiety, and that's all I have to say.